4 markets, 4 time scales, 3 continents, 1 structural failure, and then the helium happened. When I published the original intelligence brief, I closed it with a structural claim. I said the full consequences of the Hormuz closure would not arrive at once. They would propagate through supply chains at different speeds, and each week would reveal dependencies that were invisible before the system broke. I didn't know how quickly that claim would be tested. Let me tell you about helium. Most people hear helium and they think birthday balloons, but helium does something that no other element on the periodic table can do. It cools the machines that make the chips that power artificial intelligence, advanced semiconductors. The kind that go into NVIDIA's AI accelerators are manufactured using extreme ultraviolet lithography, EUV. That process prints circuits at scales below 7 nanometers. During lithography, the wafer has to be cooled. The process chambers have to be purged of chemical residues. The vacuum systems have to be tested to tolerances measured in parts per billion. Helium does all of that. No other gas has the thermal conductivity, the chemical inertness, and the atomic size to do what helium does at those process nodes. It is functionally irreplaceable. And here's where the Hormuz story reaches a place nobody was expecting. Helium is a byproduct of natural gas processing. You can't synthesize it. You can't manufacture it. You extract it from the earth in a handful of places. The United States produces about 45% of the world's supply. Qatar produces about 33%. All of it from the Ras Laffan complex on the northeastern coast. The same facility that was attacked in early March. When the Iranian strikes damaged LNG infrastructure at Ras Laffan, helium production didn't slow down. It stopped. Because there is no standalone helium plant. The helium comes out of the liquefaction process. No LNG, no helium. Qatar Energy's CEO and Rystad Energy estimate it could take 3 to 5 years to rebuild those lines. And it gets worse. There's a man named Phil Kornbluth. He's a former gas industry executive, a helium industry consultant. He's one of maybe a dozen people on the planet who track this market full time. And according to Kornbluth, approximately 200 specialized cryogenic containers used to transport liquid helium were stranded in the Strait of Hormuz at the outset of the war. Now, here's the part you need to understand about helium. It's not like oil. Oil can sit in a tanker for months. Crude is patient. Helium is not patient. Liquid helium has to be stored near absolute zero, 4.2 Kelvin, minus 269 degrees Celsius. The containers that transport it are insulated with liquid nitrogen, which absorbs heat during transit. But the nitrogen shield has a finite life. When it's depleted, the helium warms. It expands rapidly into gas, and it becomes dangerous to store. Richard Brooke, a former Air Liquide executive and CEO of Garrison Ventures, a helium industry consultancy, estimates that chip makers can keep approximately 45 days of supply on hand before storage becomes unsafe. 45 days. For every other commodity disrupted by the Hormuz closure, delay means higher cost. For helium, delay past 45 days means destruction of the inventory itself. The clock started when the strait closed, and it's still running. On March 17, Airgas declared force majeure on helium shipments, effective 12:01 a.m. Eastern.